Resident Evil 2 is a complete remake of the original RE2 back in 1998. Did this remake manage to live up to the legendary survival horror source material? Watch this review to find out. Let me go on record and say I haven't played the original RE2 before, but I've always heard great things about it. Stuff like how the game redefined the whole survival horror genre back in the late 90s and inspired many games after its wake. So when I heard Capcom was remaking this classic, I was very excited to play it. The single player campaign is split between two playable characters. Each campaign features different story beats with its own self-contained characters and set pieces. The setting takes place in a zombie-infested Raccoon City as our protagonists fight, explore and escape their way through the city. Being the franchise that literally invented the survival horror genre, the gameplay feature in the remake is very solid. At the heart of the system behind the amazing RE2 gameplay is the inventory system. The game never seems to give you enough items. Ammunition is often few and far between. It always creates a sense of dread as you try to preserve every bullet you have. In addition, because of the limited item slots, you often have to make different trade-offs between which item to keep and which item to discard. Do you want to carry more grenades for self-defense or additional weapon that might take up more slots? Due to the lack of resources most of the time and the fact that you can't carry everything you find, it often led to me making a lot of daunting decisions in the moment. All of these small decisions heighten the feeling of horror, and when I forgo picking up an item, I often have to ask myself, is it worth it to go back to revisit the area where I left the precious resource behind, knowing full well that I have to withstand the terror of going back to face all the zombies again. The item management mechanic is a classic Resident Evil staple. However, this remake's implementation removes some of the more awkward and troublesome part of the original system. I remember playing a little bit of Resident Evil 4, and I really prefer this cleaner and more accessible take than the Tetris simulator. So the surviving part is great, but what about the horror? Well, this game is scary. A lot of that got to do with the excellent presentation that accompanies this game. The remake's presentation really breathes new life into the old setting in the original game. Racoon City looks great, but more importantly, eerie. The long and narrow corridors always signal danger, and you can never expect what will turn up just about the corner. This is amplified by the lighting, as well as the unnerving sound effects. In short, in this game, you rarely ever feel safe. If there's one gameplay mechanic that consolidated everything I said so far, it's the tyrant Mr. X. After his memorable introduction, he will chase you around the map relentlessly. No matter where or what you're doing, he will come. It's an additional stress factor that swiftly nudges you to quickly finish up your current objectives. Couple that with the fact that you do not have many resources to defend yourself, and the scary presentation as mentioned earlier, just a hint of Mr. X looking around can make your heart beat faster than normal. Let's talk about some of the game's cons. Firstly, right off the bat, Leon's voice actor really feels bland to me. I don't know why, maybe it's just because they want to keep some of the game's original charm and cheesiness, but the characterization of Leon felt really flat to me.
It's a good thing we found each other. I don't know what to expect anymore.
Secondly, since it's a game where you need to go to different parts of the maps to collect something, to go to another location, to unlock something else, etc. This constant backtracking can feel very tedious at times, especially since your character do not run as fast. And that's my only major gripe of the game. This is especially true when you die and lose a lot of progress. Thankfully, the game does have an autosave feature which will make sure that you do not have to redo key moments of the game again and again. However, I understand that there's literally no way to solve this problem. If I was to increase the speed of running, the aspect of horror would be compromised, and all of the other meticulously crafted gameplay mechanics will just break. So it's not really something that can be solved. To get the most out of this game, you need to finish both the playable scenarios, which roughly translate to around 12 hours of game time. There are other modes included in the game, which I admittedly haven't tried yet. To summarize, Resident Evil 2 features very good survival horror mechanics. The presentation and setting is excellent. Overall, just a really well done remake. Highly recommend to people who want a good quality AAA title, people who like horror games, and people who don't really have a lot of time to finish games, as this is just a 12 hours adventure. I'll go on the record and say this is probably my favorite survival horror game ever. And with that, we have come to the end of this review. Please subscribe to this channel if you want to see more gaming news, discussion, reviews and retrospective. And I'm trying to hit 100 subscribers by the end of the year, so any help will be appreciated, guys. So long.